Welcome back again, Forging Friends. We are on deck number 7 of this Dark Tidings opening, and I'm going to open the middle deck this time, breaking the mold. And we're going to see what we have in store for us today. We are starting with Shadows, Starlines, and Untamed. We've got Babu Miyake Griggs. And I don't know what to make of that Archon. Looks like there's like a strand of DNA in this shield-looking thing. Very interesting. Lots of lightning around it. Let's crack it open and see what we got. All right, dropping down the Archon card and the Tide card. We are going to start with Untamed. We have Way of the Pixie. It's an upgrade. This creature gains Reap, gain 1 Amber. We have Reap or Sow. Action card with play. Choose one. Ready and reap with a friendly creature, or give 3+1 power counters to creatures distributed as you choose. Very nice to be able to play a creature, put this on there, and then reap. Very nice so far. Got 2 of those. Molly Mock, 5 power creature with play. Destroy an artifact. Already have some artifact control. Got 2 of those. Keyforge, 2 power creature. Destroyed. Forge a key at current cost. Can be very good. Chelonia, 2 power creature with elusive, and after you play another creature, if the tide is high, gain 1 amber. Well, we already seem to have quite a few creatures. We got three creatures so far, so this could be quite good. We got 2 of that. Nice. Assert Dominance, an action card with play. For the remainder of the turn, a friendly creature gains Skirmish. Ready and fight with that creature. 2 of those. Wow, lots of doubles. We have Gabuk, a 5 power creature with Destroyed. Discard the top card of your deck. If it is a creature, after Gabuk leaves play, put that creature into play in Gabuk's position in the battle line. It's nice it could replace itself. We have Cross Porpoises, an action card with an Amber Pip. Play Raise the Tide and rage 2 enemy creatures. Very nice to kind of control some people who like to reap, some creatures like to reap. Going on to Star Alliance, we have Unity or Discord. An action card with play, choose one. Use a friendly non-Star Alliance creature, or return up to 2 friendly creatures and each upgrade attached to them to their owner's hands. Ooh, if we have a lot of upgrades, that could be very, very good. Technobabble, action card with an Amber Pip. Play stun a creature and each of its neighbors that share a house with it. Good, control. Shield You Later, a 3 power 2 armor creature that may be played as an upgrade that gives a creature +2 power. Operative Espion, 4 power creature with elusive, and after player raises the tide during their turn, they may use a creature they control. Very nice. That's both you and your opponent, though. You have to be aware of that. We have Officer's Blaster, upgrade with an Amber Pip. This creature gets +2 power, and it gains Destroyed. Attach the Officer's Blaster to the creature's right neighbor. So it just bounces between creatures. That's pretty cool. Light of the Archons, upgrade with an Amber Pip. This creature gains +1 power and +1 armor for each upgrade attached to it. Very, very good one. Lieutenant Kirkar.
Now that's Lieutenant Daniel.
Lieutenant Dan!
A 5 power creature with Taunt and Hazardous 3. Very reliable. Grand Alliance Council. Action card with play. Choose a creature of each house. Destroy each creature not chosen. Alright, wow. So yeah, kind of a board wipe. We have Embervac, an upgrade with play. Raise the Tide. And this creature gains at the start of your turn, if the tide is high, capture 2 amber. Well, your opponent might not leave you with the tide high, but it depends, I guess, on the situation. We have Sabotage Mission, action card with an Amber Pip. Play keys cost +1 amber for each different power value among friendly creatures during your opponent's next turn. Interesting, different power values. So the different power values actually matter in this deck. That's kind of cool. We have Agent Septia, a 4 power 1 armor creature. Fight Reap, deal 1 damage to a creature. If the tide is high, stun that creature. Ooh, it can be very disruptive. It's a pretty big target then. We have the rare upgrade, Dive Pod. While the tide is high, this creature gains Skirmish. While the tide is low, this creature gains Elusive. Oh, wow. So yeah, this creature is always going to be a little bit harder to deal with. Very nice. Moving on to Shadows, we have Walk the Plank. Action card with play. If your opponent has no amber, deal 4 damage to a creature. Otherwise, steal 1 amber. Oh, very good. That's probably going to be a steal most of the time, but otherwise it can take care of a creature. Seeker Needle, artifact with action, deal 1 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, gain 1 amber. Old, reliable.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Loot or Pillage, action card with play. Choose one, steal an amber, or a friendly creature captures 3 amber. Great amber control. Kerwallop, action card with play, deal 1 amber to deal 1 damage to each creature, gain 1 amber for each creature destroyed this way. Kind of like Secret Needle, but like a massive one that does it to everything. That's pretty cool. Jackie Tar, a 2-power creature with elusive, and deal 1 damage to a creature. If the tide is high, deal 6 damage to a creature instead. Big target, big target. Gas Pipes Malone, 3-power creature. Before a fight, the creature Gas Pipes Malone fights captures 1 from his own side. Not bad. Got 2 of those. Francis the Economist, a 3-power creature with skirmish, and fight, each player gains 1 amber. We have Cement Shoes, action card with an amber pip. Play, deal 2 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, raise the tide. Okay. We have Monty Bank, a 1-power creature with play, and you may exalt Monty Bank up to 2 times. Action, steal 1 amber for each amber on Monty Bank. Huh. Well, he's not elusive or anything like that, so he is going to be the biggest target. Yeah, I don't know. You have to survive a turn, 2 turns basically, in order to get any value out of him. Borrow, action card with an amber pip. Play, take control of an enemy artifact. While under your control, it belongs to House Shadows instead of its original house. Very, very good artifact control there. The rare creature Shadow Council, elusive 3-power creature. While it's in the center of your battle line, it gains action, steal 2 amber. All right, let's go ahead and do the counts, and I will be right back. Welcome back to my desktop. I have the deck list pulled up here, and so going through the counts, we have 16 creatures, not the highest, but not terrible, actually. I think the distribution was 6, 6, and 4 left in Star Alliance, so not terrible. We have 11 amber on the cards, a lot of one-off cards that give us 1 amber, but a lot of ways of stealing too here in the Shadows. We have things like the Loot or Pillage that can do some capturing, but also some stealing if we're not in danger of being put behind. We have some ways of taking amber away from our opponent in terms of increasing their key cost. We have that one artifact. It was the Embervag. No, not Embervag. Yeah, here it is. Sabotage Mission. Your opponent's keys cost +1 for each different power value. We have about 5 different power values, so I think 2.5 or two or so extra key costs for 1 turn. At the right moment, that could really reduce our opponent's amber, which is nice. Which transitions us right into amber control. Sorry if I didn't mention amber on the cards. I said 11 amber on the cards, which is really, really good. Amber control, we have 8, and then artifact control. We have 3, which is really nice. We have the Mollymocks, and then we have the Borrow, which is nice. Borrow, taking an artifact, which we don't see that effect too much, actually, in later on in Winds of Exchange. We don't see that effect too much, so it's very nice to see. Creature control, we have 9. We have a couple ways of getting problem creatures out of our opponent's board. Cement Shoes, and we have Kerwallop. Secret Needle is nice for those 1 small creatures, and also Secret Needle might be the most reliable way for us to destroy our Key Frog if we don't have anything like a Cement Shoes or any other kind of destruction effect handy for that. Because unfortunately, we don't have any good destruction abilities in our Untamed to immediately play and destroy the Key Frog. So I think, between the Secret Needle and maybe something else, we could probably destroy it in 1 or 2 more turns. All right, so moving on to creature control, we have 9, and then for efficiency, we have 4. So we have a couple ways of playing cards off house, which is really nice. Operative Espion obviously works for both ourselves and our opponents. We have, let's see. We have a few things that let us attack. We have the Assert Dominance, let us attack with a creature off house potentially. Yeah, so we have a few ways of using creatures off house here, which is always handy. And then no recursion and no disruption. So, it seems like another average deck. I will say that since it has a lot of board control and a decent amount of amber control with the shadows and a few things, I might rate it a little bit higher than normal. I'd say it's a 67. I know that might seem high, but I think this could, play pretty well. It has some good kind of synergies working here between the Untamed and the shadows in that we can use maybe the gas pipes Malone with the assert dominance to get our opponent to capture their own amber. So there's some synergy there that I think warrants a 67. So go ahead and make your guesses. I have the link copied. I'm going to go to Decks of Keyforge. This is the last deck that we looked at. Spoilers. But we're going to import this deck and see what we got. I'm locked into my 67. And let's see. It's a 61, so it's a bit lower than I expected. I'm not used to this again, but we're looking at this. So 54 base arc and 8 synergy, -1 to the meta. Okay, let's see. So for Amber Control, we had Looter Pillage is the highest, and Francis is being the lowest in terms of Amber Control, because whenever Francis attacks, both players gain an Amber, so that makes sense. For Amber, that's expected Amber, Chelonia, I forgot to mention Chelonia, we have 2 of those, and we have 6 creatures in Untamed, so ideally we would, get at least 3 Amber out of a Chelonia, which would be really, really nice. On that first turn, provided if she survives multiple turns, then that's just a bunch of Amber. And then Francis can give us a little bit as well at the bottom. Speed, we have -3. For some reason, the Gabuk is giving us some, but the Chelonia is taking away some because we're guaranteed. Yeah, that's another thing that this calculation does, is for cards like Chelonia, it's guaranteed you're going to take the Tide. So it's, a thing where it automatically takes away some speed, some efficiency for Chelonia. Because it's, you're going to play it, you're obviously going to use the Tide effect there. Again, 16 creatures, some Amber, some artifact control, like we mentioned. Looking at these synergies and anti-synergies, let's see what really stands out here. We have the Chelonia, 45% things that raise the Tide. We have, looks like 3 cards that raise the Tide on their own, so that's some good synergy with the Chelonia. None of them are in Untamed, so we have to kind of hope our opponent doesn't take the Tide. Maybe if they're playing a different set, it might work out. Light of the Archons has got some with synergy with other upgrades, Dive Pod, Embervac, Light of the Archons itself, and Officer's the Blaster and Way of the Pixie, so that's very nice. Gas Pipes Malone, like I said, with that assert dominance is really good. Unity or Discord and Operative Espeon, we can really get a lot of value out of Gas Pipes there. And Jackie Tar's got some synergy with things that cause Reaping, which we have Operative Espeon, Unity or Discord, Reaper So. We can get that off house, which is really, really good. Going down here, we have a -25 with Gabuk because we have low creature count. It says a relatively low creature count. 16 creatures. I wouldn't consider that a low creature count. I've seen much lower, but there is, a lot of chances that we might whiff on getting that Gabuk to replace itself. So that's a consideration to make. We have -32% with that Embervac and things that protect creatures because the Embervac. Let's see. It raises at the start of your turn if the Tide is high, capture 2 Amber. We have anti-synergy with other things like Dive Pod, and because I'm not sure why there's anti-synergy there in particular. The Tide is high, capture 2 Embervac with other upgrades. Group X3. I'm not sure why that. If you know why that's some anti-synergy there, go ahead and leave that in the comments. But anyway, so overall, it looks like a pretty underwhelming deck. But I think the main play here is, obviously, like most decks here, we're racing, we're getting our creatures out, we're reaping, and then we can make use of this Key Frog and kind of keep our opponent's artifacts in check, which with a lot of our artifact control here, which is really nice, and using the upgrades as well as we can. We want to destroy that Key Frog at the right moment. Yeah, so it's a pretty standard linear deck, I would say. The only anti-linear part is the way we destroy the Key Frog. The timing for that is very important. Second or third key. Well, I mean, if we can, whenever we make a use of it, whenever we have enough Amber, ideally we have our Chelonia turn, and then the next turn we can destroy the Key Frog we play in that same turn in some way. So What did you guys guess? Did you guess anywhere close to this? I'm guessing a little high recently, but I think, you know, we'll get better at it. So go ahead and leave what you guessed down in the comments. And if you like this, I appreciate a like. If you want to see more of this content, please subscribe. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.